What's up, everybody? The Movie Guru here, and this week on February 2nd, Mr. and Mrs. Smith premiered on Amazon Prime, and it's really a great series. And so I was able to get the cast interview, and I thought they answered some really good questions about the show. So if you guys are enjoying Mr. and Mrs. Smith like I am on Amazon Prime, check out this interview behind the scenes clip with Donald Glover and Maya Erskine.
Describe Mr. and Mrs. Smith in 3 words.
Should we each say a word and go down the
Oh,
line?
that's cute.
Yeah.
So we each have to describe Mr. and Mrs. Smith in 3 words. Maya, you start.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith is
Lonely.
We're supposed to be selling the show. Like,
Get
Depressed.
We'll repeat
depressive,
it. Mr. and Mrs.
No,
Smith.
sorry.
misinformed.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith is lonely.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith is action-packed.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith is a love story.
Oh, I thought we were going to come up with a sentence together and be like lonely, spies, love.
Now, how is that a sentence?
It's not. It's an almost sentence. It's a 3-word
It's a
sentence.
small poem.
It's a small poem.
It's a
Lonely
haiku.
It's a
You asked
haiku.
for a haiku, right?
It's like a haiku. I like
There's
that.
a-
I actually really like that.
Oh my
Can
god.
we do that?
The pay-per-view
Yes.
channel's like, we can't use this.
Okay, so
We
the
can't
next
use this.
It's okay. We'll work
I'm
it out.
sorry.
Like, we'll edit it.
We'll work it
It's
out,
like
guys.
Donald being like misinformed.
It's like,
Okay, the next
Tubi
question
won't even
is:
take this.
do you have a favorite memory from production?
Favorite memory from production. We spent Thanksgiving together, which is like an American holiday, and we were all I rented this house with my family. That was so old they didn't really know how old it was. It was like from earlier than the 1200s, that kind of thing. Like this family had owned it the entire time, so it was a very, very old house. I remember the house very well. And we all had Thanksgiving together, and all of our kids hung out together. And I remember
They
being
watched
like,
Fantasia.
They watched
It
Fantasia
was
together.
really sweet.
it was really, really sweet. I'll remember that forever. So
Yeah.
that was a good memory for me.
Yeah.
That is.
That was a really sweet, wholesome.
Memory. It was a good,
Was.
sweet time. And it didn't have any bad things happen afterwards. Like,
No, none.
No,
No,
it was
no
man.
drama.
It was
No,
perfectly
Everything
sweet
was
the whole
super-
time.
It was sweet the whole time.
It didn't ruin the end of the shooting at all.
No, everything stayed above board.
Perfect.
Yeah.
This is making it sound.
I know.
I know.
No,
It really was a great
it really
time.
Was.
It really was.
It was.
Our kids were there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about a lot. Yeah.
Okay, so that was all of yours.
Sure.
Yeah, that was a good. Yeah, that was a tough one.
Yeah,
I have
well,
so many. I mean,
It's
you know.
true. There were a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, what was your favorite scene to shoot? You can go one by one.
I have a lot, but I think.
Repeat the thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
My
all right.
favorite scene.
Okay. Well, let me. I wasn't done. Hold on.
You have your own way of doing it. I'm sorry.
I have a lot of favorite scenes that we shot, but one of them that sticks out was actually the argument in episode 7 that we shot in the woods all night, and just how we had to come together and figure it out. And it was, we were worried we weren't going to be able to shoot it, but then we did end up shooting it, and it was very uncomfortable, but it actually was like the most cathartic moment for our characters. So it was
Yeah.
a good release.
That was a good time.
That was a good time.
That was gonna be mine.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like,
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay.
yeah.
We all have the same.
We all have the same.
Yep.
We're the same.
We're the same.
Triplets. So this is a question for all of you guys. As you think over your entire career, what would your 10-year-old self think about where you are today?
Oh.
So Donald, I'm talking about the one that your mom referenced at your wedding.
At my wedding.
Yeah.
My 10-year-old self would probably be super excited about all the things I've done. Like, you know, my 10-year-old self is definitely like Jack McBrayer-esque of like, what's a movie? I mean, like, I feel like at my best, like, we're like movie stars, movie time in Hollywood. Like, I feel like that's most of, I feel like that. But I feel like that's how you're supposed to feel. I don't feel like I'm like lucky
Yeah.
in that sense. I feel like, I mean, I am lucky, but I feel like that's what you're supposed to feel. Like you're supposed to go to work every day and be like, hey, it's cool that we get to do this.
Yeah.
You know, feel very blessed.
I agree. I think we'd be like, yeah, my dream has come true. I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
I feel like my 10-year-old self was bullied, and now I'm like, yeah, look at me now, bullies.
Yes, exactly.
I was called Francesca, and now Francesca is hanging out with Maya and Donald. So,
You're like, now
I have
hacking.
huge breasts.
I know. Like,
Sorry,
yeah.
I'm so jet lagged. This interview
We're
is
very
really.
No,
I
this is all usable, right? It's not? Oh, okay.
You don't have to.
It's okay.
Oh my
You don't have to
God,
use
yeah,
it.
just
Mario Lopez
They're
is
just,
just
put, like they cut this part out. It's just YouTube.
No.
Oh, yeah.
What do you hope audiences take away from the series?
I hope people take away from the series that we need each other. You know, I feel like there's a lot of divisiveness in the world. You know, if you're on the internet, everything is like red versus blue, man versus woman, black versus white. Everybody's against each other. Like it's always like, well, my thing, and I'm like, I hope this show is like, oh, we just need each other. Like, not to say like we're perfect, but we definitely need each other. So that's how I feel.
I just hope they feel something. I mean, I don't think that's that unique of a sentiment to say as like a creator of something, but whether they love it or hate it, I just want them
To feel something. That's fair enough.
Yeah,
That's true too.
And this is an annoying answer, but I hope they feel like seen or represented, that you can sort of watch a show that has all of the, fun popcorn fare that you want when you go see movies, but it also is something that you're like, oh, that's me. Like I do that. I am like that, and that's always exciting to have that connection.
Yeah.